Hey, podcasters, welcome to Monday, where the Riot finally reveals their true feelings about Mondays.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
I wonder what they say about Mondays.
What do you think they say? So, hey, in the podcast today, we talk Air Jordans, White Christmas, the movie, why you need more Ks, Xbox onesies, vegans, Jonas Brothers.
And a term for something that we have long had a problem with here on the show, and now it has
It's got a name now.
It's got a category.
It does. Nikki and Obadiah tried to buy a Mexican 787. The Oreo Run.
Was it 747 or 787?
What?
Was it a 747?
Oh,
or
no, that's old.
Oh, I thought it was a 47. Is it 87?
It's even bigger.
Ooh.
So we hope that you guys enjoy this wonderful podcast.
Oh, did you put the Oreo Run in there, too?
Oh, the Oreo Run's in there.
I think it needs a mention.
It might
that
be the
people
most
are like,
important part.
Oh, is there a new Oreo flavor? It's limited edition.
I don't know if I'd call it a flavor. It's not a flavor I want.
You will hear about it soon.
It is the Riot.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Cleveland celebrates failure with a parade. We celebrate failure with the worst of the riots.
Okay. You think right now I'm speaking English, and you woke up this morning thinking that you speak English.
Yeah.
But have you ever thought about, like, what if in the middle of the night, all of a sudden we all started speaking a different language? But since we're all doing it,
We all still think it's English?
we all still think we're speaking English. But for all we know, we are on a rotating language cycle in which the entire world has their languages reset every night in the middle of the night. And we all think we're still speaking the same languages, but in reality, it's been swapped out and we don't know it. No idea.
Sounds like a plot to a TV show.
I don't know.
Or to some sort of movie. I've not thought of that one before.
Just what I was thinking about when I came in this morning. Like, we could all be
That's deep.
speaking a different language and
Something
not
to that.
know it. Because if we're all doing it, then of course.
No one realizes it.
Yeah. And now as I'm saying it out loud to you, maybe that's the plot of Dark City.
See, it feels like it's already been done.
That was the one where in the middle of the night, everybody went to sleep and then everyone changed roles in society every single night, but you didn't know it.
But
and
we
you would
just
wake
take
up
that
as
out
somebody else.
and put language in, and that's their plot right there.
I mean, I'm guessing that might be where my brain got it, but when I said good morning to Nikki, I literally thought, what if Nikki and I are actually speaking a different language today, but we're both speaking that language?
Maybe that's what's going on.
I mean, maybe not. It could be that everything is the same.
We're all speaking the Monday language, okay? So that is something.
So what you're saying is that every day of the week has a different language?
Technically true. I feel like it has a different emotion, but most definitely different language that goes with it.
Yeah.
Some of the language meaner than others, okay?
Some of the language less appropriate in certain circumstances.
Correct. So
that's Monday
what
language.
What you're saying is kind of truthful.
Okay. All right. Well, it's just something to think about.
I know. You hate the riot. Why are they on the radio?
Stupid. Yeah.
Honestly, we can't trust them with anything else. It's the riot on RadioU.
You know, Nikki, as I am looking here at upcoming movies that are on sale, because we never buy those.
Well, it's just something we do.
You know, we never watched Krampus.
No, we did not.
Did we? Nikki and
How many years ago was that?
I just looked. We're coming up on the 3rd anniversary.
It's one of those that must be so bad that you need to kind of watch it. But we never did.
Okay.
What was the other one with like the, oh gosh, was it last year or the year before? Was it Tom Hiddleston or whatever, the winter one with the snowman, like the killer snowman? Do you remember that?
Jack Frost?
No, it was more recent.
I don't remember that.
It was really, again, I can't stress the bad part about it. Does anybody remember what that one was? It was like a year or two ago, and it had an actual actor in it, but it was just very odd.
And did it get a theatrical release?
It did, yeah.
All right. You think it's Tom Hiddleston?
Something along those lines.
Tom Hiddleston. I just Googled Tom Hiddleston Killer Snowman. Crimson Peak?
Maybe that's
I don't think that's it.
You sure?
I don't think it is.
We'll keep looking.
Okay.
Killer Christmas movie Snowman. How many can come up? There's only so many. Was it called? Oh, Michael Fassbender. It was called The Snowman from 2017.
But he's not Wait, is he a snowman?
It's so bad looking. Like, I think we should see that one before Krampus. They both look terrible.
Wait, is it? But like snowman's like his code name. It's not like he is a snowman,
no,
right?
I think there's a snowman in it. I think it's a killer snowman from Michael Fassbender. Don't you remember that?
No.
You don't remember it at all?
Okay, I thought that it was just something you say, but I think this might actually be
some killer snowman Christmas sort of movie.
What?
Uh-huh. They said it was bad. So very bad.
That's funny because what I'm seeing from the trailer here just looks
terrible,
wow.
right? Spectacularly terrible.
Wow.
It's some sort of book because the trailer says it's brought to you by the bestseller. And
but the snowman is about a nice snowman. Must be a
not
different
in this
one.
Case.
It's a different one?
Okay, well, I'm glad we figured that out. We can all move along with our day now.
Okay. Well, I was just thinking that maybe you and I, maybe we need to see Krampus. After losing his faith in Christmas and tearing apart his letter to Santa, a young boy accidentally summons the malevolent Krampus. The following day, his family awakens to find a massive blizzard has knocked out the power, and they are soon forced to fight for survival.
We could do that after our upcoming RadioU Christmas lunch. Do you want to do that? Or maybe right after the show.
I think there are people
that might not laugh at it.
You and I will be laughing, and then they will just further judge us.
If we have the time, we could do a double feature with Krampus and the snowman, and that might be a really good time.
I'm going to have to look more into this snowman movie.
So bad.
It looks so bad.
All right. Well, if anybody else has any wonderfully bad Christmas, terrible, horrific movies that we have forgotten to mention along the lines of the Snowman and the Krampus one, please let us know.
Yeah, and to be clear, Michael Fassbender is in bad movies. I heard Assassin's Creed was really bad. I mean, I didn't see it, but I heard it was pretty bad.
It can't be worse than the Snowman thing we just
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Could be.
The Worst of the Riot box set is now available nowhere because we know you wouldn't want it anyway. It's The Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Many of us, when it came to Black Friday, or maybe you've got hopes for Santa on the Christmas days for your very first 4K TV, because what you need is more Ks in your TV.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got news. In Japan, over the weekend, they did their very first 8K broadcast.
Did they?
Which means your TV sucks.
You've got nothing.
It is the worst TV ever.
How could you even show your face?
It's the worst. You bought a 4K TV.
Even though
might as well be HD.
Now, it is kind of odd on the side of like Japan where it is with entertainment. In some areas, it's still like even DVDs are still the main thing. And then you have Blu-rays. And then to me, I would think that 4K or 8K wouldn't even be something on the radar yet because they just haven't done that yet.
Well, I will tell you, having my friend that lives in Japan plus other stuff, DVDs are super expensive there. And the other thing that's weird is despite the fact that they have some of the best internet in the world in Japan.
They do.
Like DVD rental shops are still everywhere. Like people rent DVDs more than stream.
Do you remember like DVD box sets for like shows? They still do those. It's a big thing.
It is a thing.
So it's very odd.
It is odd
that you would tell me that 8K was something that they'd be doing for broadcast.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm just telling you. Well, it was on satellite.
Okay.
So, I mean, already, we're really starting to narrow things down. You got to have a satellite.
So no one being able to watch it.
You got to have all stuff. You got to have an 8K TV. But all I'm telling you is that it's happening. And, oh, my gosh, to get the signal from the box to the TV, you have to run 4 HDMI cables to the TV.
Oh, that's fine.
To get the actual 8K signal. Mm-hmm. And keep in mind this, too. They say that it's diminishing returns unless the display is big enough. So you're really going to need probably that at least 100-inch TV.
For the 8K TV?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the laundry list is getting even longer of the items that you need to enjoy the experience.
I'm ready, Nikki.
You are? You ready to get your cables out?
I'm ready for 8K. Let's go. I mean, I don't have an 8K TV, but my heart is ready. On the inside, I'm ready.
That's the most important first step, I feel.
And I'll tell you right now, I'm not watching Krampus unless it's in 8K. Just write it down. Snowman and Krampus, not until I can see them in 8K.
Did you mention what was in 8K? Like, what were they watching?
Oh, it's
usually a sporting event.
Here's the ocean. And it was just here, what is that? Here's what sushi looks like. It's really just like nature programming.
Sure, it's nature or sports.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's true. It's basically just them pointing a camera at something already existing. But it's fine.
That sounds relaxing, doesn't it?
Hey, people pay to go to the ocean. Why? You just put it on the TV.
If you
see
have
all 8 of the Ks.
If you have all the stuff to make it happen.
The Riot.
They hate me. They hate you. They hate us.
Why else would they make us listen to the worst of the Riot? Radio U.
Were you watching the college footballs over the weekends? I was. And of course, they made their little announcement about their little playoffs. So your top 4 teams.
Let's go over the games on Saturday, though. I mean, they were good.
Sure they were.
Okay.
What are you saying?
Well, I'm just saying we just skipped automatically to the results of all the stuff from the season, but I didn't know if any game needed a nod or anything.
What do you want to know about?
Let's see. What about the Alabama one?
They beat Georgia 35-28.
And if you were watching, that was a really good game.
It was a good game. Okay, Oklahoma beat Texas 39-27. Let's see. Anybody else? Clemson beat Pitt 42-10.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what, Ohio State beat Northwestern 45-24, but let's be abundantly clear about something. That was not a spectacular show. Well, Ohio State had a spectacular first half.
Yeah.
They had a terrible third quarter. Fourth quarter, they kind of brought it back. I heard some people saying that was actually a snapshot of their whole season boiled down to one game.
Pretty much.
That felt a little fair to me. But Ohio State, who, I must admit, I was hoping might make it into the college football playoffs, did not. They're going to go to the Rose Bowl. They're going to play Washington there. I'm game for that. Whatever.
That'd be a good one.
You know what other game I'm excited to see that they announced? I can't remember which bowl it is, but Oregon, like University of Oregon, is going to play Michigan State. I am looking forward to that bowl game. That's on New Year's Eve, I believe. Okay, so let's talk your top 4. Oklahoma at 4?
Oh, the Michigan State Oregon Red Box Bowl.
Oh, that's too bad. The Red Box Bowl?
It's the Red Box Bowl.
You think they'll flash a code so I can save 75 cents on a rental?
That's what it is. Mm-hmm. Has that always been a bowl for like the last?
No,
is that a new one?
Always have been a bowl. It has to be new. But isn't it normally like the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl? So this is just the Red Box Bowl?
This says Red Box Bowl.
Don't they have like a thing where they're like, it's the Red Box Red Fruit Bowl?
No, this is
something.
This is it.
Whatever. You know what? If you want to know the truth, I don't care. I use Redbox, and I'll probably root for Michigan State. Because here's how it works. You root for Ohio State, then you root for the Big Ten, and then you root for Oregon.
It feels like a commercial after commercial. The Red Box Bowl is December 31st as Oregon takes on Michigan State at the Levi's Stadium in California.
All right. You know what?
That's that one.
I'll tell you right. Am I wearing Levi's or Lee jeans? I don't know. Whatever. It starts with an L. So,
well, you're practically at the Red Box Bowl.
Did I say the top 4?
You did not yet, okay. I don't believe.
Oklahoma at 4, Notre Dame at 3, Clemson at 2, Alabama at 1. Now, I'm not supposed to say this, but I don't care. Like, I don't like after.
You don't care about the top 4?
Once Ohio State is out, I'm just like, whatever.
You're to care a little bit.
Am I?
Yeah, it's just a tiny bit.
Man, can you believe that Notre Dame made it into the top 4 like that? Top 3, my gosh.
Was that so hard to do?
Yeah.
That's what people need to hear.
Nikki, it stretched me.
It's a person.
It stretched me.
As an actor.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to pretend that I care about it. But you know what? It's fine. Here's the thing. If Ohio State had made it into the top 4, then I would have had to make plans to be very sleepy on a couple of Tuesdays because I would have had to stay up for these Monday night games that kick off at like 10 Eastern. So ridiculous. And now,
it's better this way.
Now
you got a Rose Bowl trip.
No, I don't have to.
Fine.
That's right. I'm going to see the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day, like in the afternoon or something. It's going to be great.
It is so much better for our schedule.
It is.
That it really worked out better this way.
I know. And you know what? I'm glad that we're finally getting around to putting the Riot
I mean, it's no Red Box Bowl, but...
Hey, I'm going to watch the Red Box Bowl. I will. I'm in. I'm so excited about it.
They're probably like, hey, we got a bowl, guys.
What if they have Krampus?
Maybe.
down at the Red Box.
Ever grab milk right out of the fridge to pour in your cereal, only to realize that your stupid roommate left an empty carton in the fridge? That emptiness is nothing compared to how you're about to feel. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Over the weekend, I did something I said I would never do again, which is, by the way, the best way to guarantee you're going to get to do it again. I will never make $1 million again.
Problem solved.
I refuse.
Not going to.
I'm not doing it. Never works. Ever works. I said I wasn't going to watch White Christmas again, and this weekend...
Why? It's a good movie.
Is it?
If you just skip a couple of songs. But the heart of the movie is good.
What is the heart of the movie?
Materialism. I don't know. It's just
not. Okay, because I watched it on Saturday night. I did some Christmas decorating with some friends, and they were like, we should watch White Christmas. And, of course, they were girls because they're the only ones that
chosen.
Want to watch White Christmas. And so we're watching it. And, first off, I was like, I feel like this is indicative of a studio system in which women were not treated properly. Because, the one guy is constantly trying to fix the other guy up with a girl. And he's like, they're fat, they're skinny, they're this. And I was like, whoa, objectifying. Whoa.
Can't be into this. Can't watch this.
The other thing, I started reading up on it. So it's Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. Bing Crosby is 51.
In the movie?
In the movie. Like the actor.
Sure.
The girl he ends up with, 26.
That seems about what the studios normally do.
Twice as old.
You're not supposed to look at that stuff.
Well, because, okay.
Even back then they did it, though.
This all started. We were watching it, and I was like, what the heck? I was like, that dude has got to be at least 50. And what is she, 25? And all of the girls watching the movie were like, that's ridiculous. He's not that old. He's like his late 30s, and she's in her early 30s. And I was like, no, there's no way. So, we did a little Googling.
And you found out?
Yeah, strangely enough, it wasn't Wikipedia that helped me. It was goodhousekeeping.com, the magazine, their website. They had an article, 25 things you didn't know about White Christmas. And so I read all kinds of things, including with the girls whose names I don't remember. See? Because the movie objectified them so much.
I think one was the one who's like George Clooney's mom or something.
Aunt,
okay.
Yeah, the one that ends
Rosemary Clooney?
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
That's right. But in the movie, the older sister is actually 8 years younger than the younger sister. So the dancing lady that just every time...
First off, your remembering of the details is spectacular.
Hey, look, every time somebody sneezes, that girl's like, and a dance number! One more!
It's a Christmas classic.
It's something.
White Christmas, come on.
It's so long.
No, that you could have edited it out, but it's different back then.
It's like 4 hours long.
They wanted to go see a movie, and when they did, you wanted to see a lot of movie.
Yeah. Okay, now, everybody's going to be mad at me, but this is the last thing I got to say. The movie opens up with the general being sad that he's not a general anymore. Mm-hmm. But everybody gets together and tells him how much they love him. The movie ends with the general being sad that he's not a general anymore, and everybody gets together to tell him that he loves him. I'm like, guys, we still have not fixed a core problem here. The core problem is this guy doesn't know what to do with himself, and you guys...
Now he's running the inn, and the inn will be successful.
What, because of their little thing they did?
Because the people came, and so they could keep the inn, so he feels like he could keep going with that. So he has purpose with it.
I just feel like there was a lot of unresolved plot issues there.
Oh, my gosh.
I was just like,
Yeah, let's take apart every Christmas movie.
Well, I mean, not everyone. That's just the one I happen to watch.
I think we could do some damage to all of them. Does that mean you put your Christmas trees up?
Yeah.
Hey!
I still haven't decorated them, but they're up and lit.
That's step one.
That's something.
Feels like a dance number now.
Well, that's why we didn't get them decorated.
The Riot.
Apparently, some of the less athletic types go nuts for this stuff.
Radio U.
Nikki, did you see those new Air Jordans?
Which ones are we talking about?
Well, I'm looking. The people at Kicks on Fire are reporting a new Air Jordan 1 Mid.
Mid?
Mm-hmm, which they say is a patriotic-inspired iteration. It mixes red, white, and blue. You got a white leather upper with contrasting blue tumbled leather overlays. The patriotic theme is completed with red laces and branding on the tongue. Then you've got some black applied to the swooshes and the collar area. How much would you pay?
Well, I'm looking at them. I'm not a good person to ask on this because to me, I feel like some of the shoes and the shoe culture.
Careful.
I don't like how they look. But these ones are quite patriotic. What, $200-$300? Is that how much they are?
Well, I mean, retailing for $110.
If you get one, I bet, and then maybe they sell a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, once you get them, you either got to dead stock
Those
them.
are only $110.
Boy, they love to hear that.
Well, no,
because
I
what that
mean,
means is, guys, we're
are these just not as popular?
Way too low.
Are these not as popular anymore? Or like, are these what still sells? I mean, I've had tennis shoes that cost more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, big spender.
Occasionally, and then you wear them into the ground.
No, you dead stock them.
Dead stock
You
them.
put them on display with proper lighting.
We can't afford a dead stock. You have to actually buy to wear.
If you're gonna, man, like listen to that. Like, I'm gonna pay that much money for shoes. I'm gonna wear them.
That's right.
So, well, $110. They say that they'll be available at Jordan Brand stores and online sometime in December.
We're in December.
So it looks like there are some of them that have showed up on eBay. Let's see if this is true. I'm checking the eBay pricing right now. No, I don't.
The Air Jordan 1 Mid.
I don't see these on eBay. I see the Air Jordan 1 Retro. But again, like these are not, I mean, as Nikki would say, that's not that much. $197.
I don't know the culture enough. I don't know the sneaker stuff.
What about the Mid 1 Tuxedo White? $119. So, I mean, like, man, Nikki, you could be getting some Jordans for Christmas.
Apparently,
you know what I'm saying?
I can afford these. I can have these.
Would you, if I bought you a pair of
No, I would not wear them.
Why not? What about these purple ones?
I tend to keep pretty low. What's a good term for it?
A low top?
No, I don't like
ankle height?
I don't like my shoes to be noticed that much. Like I just keep a low profile. That's what I'm looking for.
What if I got you an all black Jordan?
Perhaps that might be
Because I'm looking
better.
at that right here, the mid black, dark gray black.
And I really like the New Balances. I got a wider foot, so I like New Balances. They're very comfy.
Oh, Michael Jordan was a tall man. Perhaps his shoe will reflect that.
I don't want a shoe like that. No, I don't.
All right. Okay, I'm just saying that they're out there, and you could be
They're priced to sell.
Celebrating, but it sounds like Nikki hates America.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on Radio U.
Did you guys see that new Captain Marvel poster?
Looks pretty good.
It does look pretty good.
Very bright and colorful.
Mm-hmm. And the trailer is supposed to hit today? Huh. Okay, I thought it was on Wednesday. So the trailer is going to be, let's see, during Monday Night Football tonight, 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific.
Is that enough to make you want to watch it? Because then, like in our world, you're like, well, I'll just be watching it when it goes on YouTube right after. But
okay.
I don't feel like I'm going to watch Monday Night Football just to see it.
Let me tell you this, okay? Oh, no, it doesn't say that. Tease the new trailer will drop December 3rd. Monday Night Football starts at 8:15, 5:15. Okay, there was a movie. I'm not going to say what the movie was. It was it was owned by the House of Mouse.
Sure.
In a franchise that I love. And they were like, hey, we're going to have the new trailer. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I just assumed it would be at the beginning of Monday Night Football. It was at halftime.
Yeah. Well, they want to get you to watch it.
After the trailer dropped, the tickets went on sale.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I'm doing it. So I did. I even care about Monday Night Football. But I waited through half the freaking stupid game, got the trailer, got my tickets.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just telling you that my first look at this, I was like, hey, they learned their lesson. They gave a time for it. And now I realize, no.
That's just the start of the game.
It's more than likely that you are going to be waiting until halftime. And Nikki, I'm with you. That was the last time I made a trailer date. After that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to bed. It'll be on YouTube.
I'll just watch it the next day.
I don't care. Whatever.
But again, maybe this is just not the right movie for us to want to watch it the moment it happens, but I'll pass on that.
Well, you know what? For me, it really comes down to, as much as I really genuinely do appreciate how Disney has pumped out a lot of really great Marvel movies and whatever, it's not that I'm not interested in seeing it. I am. But my excitement level for Marvel movies has dwindled. I mean, it's basically just a new episode in the Marvel TV show, even though it's in theaters. I get it. And so, am I excited for it? Sure. Am I losing sleep over it? Nah.
Not like that.
Am I watching the NFL for it?
No. Gone are those days.
No. But that's just because I'm not an NFL fan.
Now, Jason just texted he saw an ad, and it did say halftime. So,
well, you know what?
If you want to watch tonight, it would be at halftime.
Then good on them for at least, pushing that out there, because all I'm going to say is, dang.
Did you know the Riot can help you see into the future? Every time Obadiah says he likes a show, impress all your friends by correctly predicting it will be canceled by the end of the year.
Canceled.
What are you talking about? It's not funny.
Works every time. It's the Riot on RadioU.
You know what? Yes, Nikki.
I just say something amazing.
You know what? You go ahead.
Did you click on it?
Not yet.
Let's see. Coming to the breakfast cereal item soon will be from Hostess and Post. Do you know, like, the little powdered mini donuts? You've got.
Oh, of course I do.
Hostess Donuts cereal and honey bun cereals.
That looks pretty good.
They look pretty good. So that'll be in January. Those will come out.
Okay, but I want you to take a really good look at that powdered donut cereal.
Well, it's just like a Fruit Loop without the color.
It just looks like a bleached white Fruit Loop.
You're going to say bleached whale.
It looks like a beached whale.
It's just terrible. Now I wonder what it tastes like, though.
Well, I know what they want it to taste like.
It's going to be, yes, have a slight taste of that.
Okay, so which one do you prefer?
The honey bun. The honey bun.
Are you a fan of honey buns?
I love honey buns. I remember in school.
Is that where it came from?
No, it was just mostly in school. They would have the honey buns wrapped up that you could have, and those were an option. Those were good. Those were good.
I feel like somebody at some point in their life had a honey bun problem.
Not really, but compared out of the two, I don't really like the powdered donuts as much. It's always too messy. But those two options, that's why they're both each a cereal, will be out in January.
I'll tell you what Hostess really needs to do. Give me a chocolate. I love how they're donuts. It's like, I don't call them that. It's a donut. But they're like, yeah, it's not technically a donut.
Well, for the mini ones, the powdered ones.
DONETTES. I love the chocolate ones.
I wonder how that could cross over, though, into a cereal.
You know what? You just buy a pack of 6, you dump them in there, a little milk.
Just do it.
You just eat the donuts.
So, a possible Riot food fight for next year.
Well, it's good to know we've got vision for next year.
I know you got something coming.
It's not going to be just a matter of, like, once Christmas happens, we shut the show down. We're going to be looking forward to some of these powdered mini donuts.
And the honey bun ones.
Gosh, don't donuts sound good?
It does.
Donuts always sound good.
Anytime. So keep an eye out. Those will be, like we said, in January. But if you see them anywhere, let us know. And we'll try to do them for a Riot food fight.
I'll tell you, if they sneak out early and you see them, you know what to do. Text or call 877-2-RADIO-U.
Doesn't matter the time of day. We'll see it, and we'll be ready to go.
The worst of the Riot. It's like Lucky Charms, but no marshmallows. Radio U.
Want to say what's up to Jared? He just texted us. You can do the exact same thing. 877-2-RADIO-U. He says, you guys need to do a food fight for the maple bacon chicken sandwich from Wendy's. It's awesome.
I tried the bite of it.
Did you?
I did. Eric got it the other day.
Man, I came so close to buying it yesterday. I was at Wendy's, and I looked and looked and looked at it. Why didn't I just get it?
It was very maple syrupy. Like, when I took a bite and you squeeze it, I swear to you, maple syrup came out of the bun part of it.
Great.
Like it was leaking it.
So good.
It's a lot. But he seemed to like it. It was pretty good.
I think I need that. Like I do. And
it's like the breakfast sandwich with the maple syrup in it.
Why didn't I get it?
I don't know.
I was at Wendy's. Actually, I can tell you exactly why. I went to Wendy's yesterday and spent approximately $2. I got a cheeseburger, which was $1.29, a large fry, which was $1. I walked away.
That was it?
The maple bacon sandwich for just
the sandwich
was $5.19.
Yeah, because it's got a lot of maple syrup in it. You know how expensive that stuff is?
Actually, I do.
The
and
liquid
you're right.
gold?
If it's real actual maple syrup and not just, maple flavored corn syrup, which is what we all know it actually is.
First off, no one said it probably is real. I'm sure it's just flavored.
Sure it's fake.
But it's like their signature sandwich, so of course it's going to be more expensive.
$5.19.
But it was weird because the bun is like a
fluffy gold.
It's like a cinnamon bun, sort of. It's very weird.
So it's not like a standard sandwich bun?
It's not a standard bun, no.
All right, well, you know what? You done cinched it. I'm getting one of those sandwiches. I got to try it. I have to know if it's any good.
It wasn't just me. It was Jared as well.
Okay, well, Jared, thanks for the heads up.
The Riot is an award-winning morning show.
It's literally a medal for sucking. Now that is a medal for trying.
Okay.
Radio U.
Now, I have a reputation. And that is a reputation of being grumpy, easily grumpied out, like just grumpy all the time.
No, not the worst, but you're very opinionated to the point of sometimes being grumpy about something.
People feel like I'm being grumpy about it. Yeah.
But it's just you have an opinion.
The thing that kills me about the job that Nikki and I do is that Nikki and I spend a lot of time looking at internet stuff, internet news sites, internet whatever. So we spend a lot of time just looking at the internet. And as a result, I keep finding myself learning just details about things that I don't want to know anything about.
Kind of like we're the filter that it goes through, and then you guys get some of it, and we filter out the rest of it, but the filter still has to experience it.
Nikki, I know so much about Nick Jonas's wedding.
That you didn't want to. We didn't care about it.
I mean, strip the celebrity way. As a human being, you got married, great. Good. It's great.
But we didn't need to know all the details.
But just a heads up, I don't look at strangers' wedding pictures. Why would I?
Just like every royal wedding.
It's kind of weird, right? So Nick Jonas gets married, and I can tell you that he had 2 wedding ceremonies, Nikki. I can tell you a lot of things about what he wore. I saw pictures of him with his brothers. The Jonas brothers.
But we didn't really, we're not expected to talk to you guys about that, but we still now know about it because you have to go through it all.
And so I've invented a name for that, Nikki. You ready for it?
What's it called?
It all goes into what I'm calling the Kardashian category.
Yeah, that was the start of it long time ago.
I will tell you that I'm spelling category with a K.
Okay.
It all goes into the Kardashian category. And so I think from now on, when I see something like that, I'm just going to be like, that's a Kardashian, because I am constantly being faced with especially celebrity news that I care zero about. And again, Nick Jonas wants to get married. Kim Kardashian wants to have pictures of her, whatever. Fine. I don't care. But I'm meaning that, if that's what they want to do, it's fine. It's just that I have to see it, and I don't want to see it.
Not anymore.
I don't want to.
Because you're going to put it in that category, remember?
That's right. The Kardashian category.
In that, and then write out your mind.
I don't know. No, not out my mind. Because all I have to do right now is just say Nick Jonas, and I know exactly what he and his wife looked like getting out of their car after the Hindu ceremony they were a part of.
Because it's in the file.
I know what that looks like. I have access to that information. What kind of a person could I be? All right? What kind of people could you and I be?
If we didn't have all that?
If we didn't have those things in our minds, imagine the things that we could have in our minds.
It does worry is that filling up space that we needed for something else? Or can we handle all the news?
Nikki, you and I could be sending us to Mars, curing cancer, whatever, and instead I'm like, I don't know if I'm feeling those sunglasses, bro.
That's the Kardashian category.
Kardashian category. It's the 2K. It's what it is. So just keep filling up that part of my brain.
I'm glad you came up with a term for it, though. It's very fitting.
It's a Kardashian. That's what it is.
It's the radio equivalent of going to McDonald's and ordering a fish fillet. Hey, that's one of my favorite things from McGee's. The worst of the riot on Radio U.
Oh, my gosh. This does not go in the Kardashian category.
You're keeping this?
No. I like this. Dr. Hamza of Swansea University, she thinks that we are soon going to need to drastically alter our language in a bid to not offend vegans.
Yeah.
She says that vegans everywhere are constantly being offended by some of the phrases that we're using. Like, for example, take the bull by the horns.
Well, then you wouldn't say that.
No, you'd say take the flower by the thorns.
Okay.
That's right. I got a couple other good ones here. Killing two birds with one stone.
You would say.
No. Feeding two birds with one scone.
I like that one. That one's actually got a fun thing to it.
To flog a dead horse would be to feed a fed horse.
Nice.
Okay. And more than one way to skin a cat should be more than one way to peel a potato.
Yeah, okay. These are, I guess, clever ones if you don't want to say.
Well, okay.
But even though it makes me wonder, like, how did those come up in the first place? Like, from back in the day, did they really skin a cat?
I have no idea.
Or, like, was it, of course you killed two birds at one time. Like, how was it back in the day?
Two birds with one stone, like, that makes sense to me. You're saying save some ammo. I mean, we can all identify with that.
It does, but you know it was probably, like, back in medieval time for the bird pie. You know, they're like, well, of course you killed the two birds with the one stone.
Yeah,
like, it probably had a literal meaning back then.
Kelly says, my friends are vegan. I can guarantee they're not offended by any of these. Well, Kelly, are you sure they're vegan? Like, are they fourth level vegan? Because they could be like, they could just be like intro vegan.
No, it depends on your emotions with it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just know that I want to start.
Scone. What's the scone one again? That one's my favorite.
Feed two birds from one scone.
That one I do like. I might start doing that one.
Jason says that potatoes have feelings too. See, that's what I was thinking. We're replacing a lot of our violence against animals with violence against scones. Like,
that's a whole other category and a whole other topic.
Oh, man. So, just saying, guys. And you really should spend more time thinking about who you're offending when you talk. Like, you don't want to offend vegans, but what about people that only eat animals and don't want to offend plants?
True.
Have you guys ever thought about meatitarians out there or meatins? They eat animals, but they don't want to harm the plants that are giving us the oxygen that we need.
Pretty much you're going to offend somebody somewhere with something.
I'm offended right now. Like, I'm still figuring out what it's about, but, like, I know I'm offended. I'm just trying to figure out what. So it's like sometimes the feeling comes before the cognition.
Worst of the riot, not enough? Not enough. Check the blog and all things Riot at riot.radiou.com.
Got to say hello to Drew, who texted me something that I thought I knew and then I was wrong.
So this isn't the onesie we were talking about last week?
No. Here, okay.
Which is sad because it seems like we are talking about onesies a lot.
And Nikki, I'm glad you bring that up because I have a little concern.
What is it?
My concern is that we're getting a little too comfortable as a society. And you would think that I would not be, of all the people in the world, to say something about it. Sure. I wouldn't be that guy.
Well, I mean, that seems to be what they're pushing at us, to be even more comfortable. Like, the second you're done with work, you just need to take off all those
clothes
constrictions from work and stuff and put on a onesie. And that's what they think we should do.
And I don't know how I feel about it. Xbox, like a year, maybe 2 years ago, they had these Xbox onesies, which, by the way, it's really called the Xbox Union suit. Because it brings it all together, right?
Yeah.
Union. Mm-hmm. We really need those in these troubled times.
So are these new ones now? Or?
Well, they were like ones that they were giving out to like influencers and blah, 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 whatever. Guess what? These can now be ordered. So the pre-order date has been moved because they thought they had them all lined up, and apparently there was some sort of a manufacturing defect, and as a result, they've had to push them back. And it doesn't, like, they're not sure that if you ordered one, you would get it by Christmas, but
it's an option.
It is.
They look really interesting. It looks like a space suit, but just very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to.
Would you wear one?
No, I mean, that's pushing it. When it's a full body suit,
feels like too much.
I've never worn a onesie before. I feel like, at least with
you just don't remember.
Well, like in a baby, you mean? Yeah. Well, yeah, as I remember, but I feel like I really need the cutoff point at the waist. I don't need a one piece. I have to have two pieces.
Well, do you feel like if you had a like a onesie, or like, you didn't have that waist, do you feel like it would be more or less slimming?
Probably doesn't look as good.
You don't think so?
I don't know. A onesie it's something you have to have confidence to pull off, and I don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want you to pull it off. I want you to leave it on.
Well, no, and also I'm just staying at home with it, too, so I guess it doesn't really matter. No one's seeing that.
You know what? That's okay. You know what? That's what we should do. Remember how we were like, hey, let's do the Riot Ugly Sweater Christmas party, too?
We are.
No.
No, we're not doing a onesie party.
It should be the Riot.
We're
Riot.
Not.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
We're not. I already bought my ugly Christmas sweater for this year. I'm not returning it.
You know what? Then maybe I'll show up in a onesie.
Fine. Make it a Christmas onesie.
I don't even have.
I've seen the one for, I think it's targeted mostly to guys, but it is a onesie, but it looks like you're wearing a shirt and pants.
Perfect.
So if you look it up, it looks like you have a shirt and pants on, but you're not. You don't realize that it's all zipped and it's exactly just one piece.
I think I might do that. I think so. Because, what? You don't have to be angry about it.
That's not the show that we'll be doing. We're going to do an ugly Christmas sweater party, and you're going to come in a onesie?
So?
So that's not what the party is.
You know what?
What?
Here's what's really funny is that you guys think we're joking, but Nikki is legit on the inside bothered about it.
Yeah, why won't you wear a Christmas sweater?
It would really bother her if we called it that and then I didn't show up following the rules.
Because it's not the name. It's not what the party is.
You would just be like, this does not fit in the way it's supposed to fit in. This is all wrong.
It is completely wrong.
Carl,
but you're just a rule breaker.
Carl just texted in. He says, the whole point of being home is so you don't have to wear pants. Why would you wear all over pants?
True.
That's
good way to look at it.
I can see that. See, but I love the idea. What if I go get myself like a Superman onesie? I've seen those at Target. I can wear that.
Get a Christmas onesie. If you have to have a onesie,
don't
get a
tell
Christmas
me what to get.
Okay.
Don't tell me what to do. I'll do what I want.
I'm suggesting to you. Then you're following the rules of our Christmas party.
Okay, wait.
And you're having a onesie.
Here you go. I got one.
What's hard?
Here, take a look at this one and tell me. This is technically not an ugly onesie, but you take a look at it and tell me if it'll still...
It'll work. It is. It's that...
What about this men's sexy Santa union suit?
And now we've gone too far.
What?
No, why don't you? You could do that. There's a Rudolph for $15. You can get a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer onesie.
Or what about this Spider-Man one? Yeah.
Christmas. Make it Christmas.
Okay, then I'll put a bow on it.
Make it better than that for Christmas.
I like the looks of this.
Do the Rudolph. It's $15 on sale.
Let's see. How do you get it? Okay, I'm looking at them, but they were on sale, and now the price has gone up. What about a turkey suit? Fair Isle. Okay, we're gonna work this problem. All right, we're gonna work this.
Keep
problem.
looking. Find one.
Yeah, totally.
That feeling when you hear that every school in the state is closed, but yours? Now you know how we feel. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
You know, Nikki, one of the things that is really hard about being 70 years old is that you're not 50 anymore.
I guess when you're 70, that is true.
Yeah, but what do you do when you're 70 years old and your doctor says, you know what, I wouldn't put you a day over 45. You're just so healthy. You got everything to get. You're great. You're in great health. You're like a 45-year-old.
Well, what do you do?
Well, the thing is the society judges you because you're 70. They're like, you have to do this. You have to be this way. You have to whatever.
But you feel and you look and you act like you're so much younger.
Mm-hmm. And so this guy, his name is Emily. He is from the Netherlands, and he is
You sure it's not Emil? Or...
Is it Emil?
Maybe. Emily can also work. That could be for anybody.
You know what? I'm going to call him E.
Okay.
So E, he is a well-known positivity guru, and so he went to court, and he wanted his birthday to be officially changed by 20 years.
Was he the one a couple of weeks ago who was trying to then be younger, change his age?
He said, you know what? I should be getting better dates and better job offers, but my age is keeping that from happening. And he said that if I can change my name or gender,
you should
why can't I change my age? And he says that he identifies as a 50-year-old, whereas they're saying he's 70. He's like, no, I'm 50.
So what do you do then?
I'll tell you.
Did they allow it?
I'll tell you what the Netherlands ruled. They said, no.
Really?
No, you can't. Because they said there are too many legal rights that are tied up in your age. And so the right to vote, the ability to drive, the right to collect, like just on and on and on. They said, and we can't have people changing their age because
they want to.
They said there's just way too many laws on the books that would suddenly become worthless because you could decide at 20 that you're like, you know what? I identify as 70, so I want to start getting unemployed, not unemployed,
the
but
benefits and stuff.
Benefits and stuff
Sure,
right now.
Sure.
Et cetera, et cetera. And they're just like, nope, you can't do that. And they said, you know what? We think it's great that you feel young. Feel free to act in any way that you like, but you cannot change your birthday.
I think, it does mirror a bit of the gender one as well, because there are sometimes laws attached with that and that argument. So I don't know. That's a starting off maybe with the age thing.
Well, it's an interesting, if you are now saying, it's an interesting, like these kind of two different schools of thought, because you got a school of thought that's just like saying, what I say about myself is more important than what you say about me.
Yeah.
But then you've got lawmakers that are going, look, you can say whatever you want about you, but this is the day you were born. You can't change the day you were born. This is hard fact. Now, if all of a sudden we're going to, between the two of us, say, this is a fact that is fact, no matter what we say about it or how we agree on it, that means on some level that we are acknowledging a standard that is outside how we think and feel and is, like, quote unquote, real. Mm-hmm. Boy, now you got a real problem.
I know.
Because if you can tell me
that.
you can tell me that I was born on a certain day and you can make that stick, then what else can you say about me? It becomes an interesting problem if you're more interested in what you say versus what someone else says.
This, of course, sounds like the lawmakers are like, well, it's not our problem right now. We can't hear you.
Look, bro.
We're not dealing with it right now.
Look, you were born in 1949, okay? You can say what you want.
But he's a 70-year-old.
You were born in 49.
But he feels like a 50-year-old, so they denied his chance to change his age.
Let's see. You know what? It's funny. I guess it just depends on the day how old I feel. But in reality, probably somewhere between the ages of 12 and 13.
We change it too much.
You're listening to The Riot. Voted #1 morning show. Among toddlers aged 2 to 5. Among people with hearing problems. Among dogs who bark at loud noises. Among relatives of Obadiah. Among people who lie in surveys. The Riot, Radio U.
Hi, if you guys have been keeping score, you may be aware that Christmas is coming up.
I really feel like it's right around the corner.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not, but I do feel like it.
Well, it's 3 weeks from tomorrow.
But I think we feel like it's sooner because we had that extra week in November.
Yeah.
So you feel like it should be coming up, but there was all that.
There's time between now and then. You've still got time to do your Christmas shopping, et cetera, et cetera. And if you find yourself like me, you're just like, where can a guy get a 787 Dreamliner in such short notice?
I know. I don't think you can deliver it in time.
Yeah, it really bothers me when Nikki puts her Christmas list out so late.
I'm sorry. I just didn't think I wanted that until it was too late.
So I've done a little poking around, and I've got some great news. Did you see what was happening in Mexico over the weekend?
Is there an airliner?
They got a new president.
Yeah.
They got a new president in Mexico, Andre Manuel Lopez Obrador.
Does he get a new plane?
Well, no, Nikki. He is a socialist, and he said when he was running, one of the things he was going to do was sell off all the government aircraft.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And so
what's he going to do when he needs to fly?
That's a great question to which I have no answer. But there was a Mexican presidential Boeing 787 Dreamliner, essentially Air Force One, but for Mexico's president instead of ours.
Common for leaders.
Mm-hmm. The government has plans to sell 60 planes and 70 different helicopters, but he says this particular aircraft is basically ridiculously nice, and there's no reason why the government needs a plane like that. And so it is being flown off to California, where it is now going to be retrofitted and then sold at market. Looks like it's only going to be about $368 million.
Well, I mean, if we feel like we budgeted for that, we could look into it.
I mean, I
wasn't planning on buying a new plane.
So what do you think? You think I could get like a 5 years same as cash or 12 months same as cash?
I think we would need like a 500-year loan for that.
Because it's one of those things where, or maybe we could be like a lease. You know,
Do you think they'll take zero down? I know sometimes they want you to put more money down.
A lot of times, you go zero down, then your monthly goes up.
I know, but we're not paying it anyways.
Then you have to be really careful because now you're negotiating payments instead of price.
True.
And when you start negotiating payment over price, you have actually put the power in their hand because they're playing the long game and they're just going to raise the price and get more out of you. And so it's one, you know what? I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's go to the credit union. Let's see how much can get it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Let's see how much we can get approved for. And then we go to the dealer. And then for them, it's like a cash sale. And they don't even like dealing with you then because they can't make as much money on you because you already know how much you're willing to spend.
But let's promise each other, okay, we don't need it. So if we go in there and we can say no, then we have the power.
We can walk right out.
And if it ends up working out to where we can buy the 747 from Mexico, then maybe we could.
And you know what, Nikki? Here's the great thing is that you may not know this, but I took 3 years of Spanish in high school.
You can just lead the way.
Well, I can because no in English and no in Spanish, same word.
You're good.
Same word.
And they're going to be panicking. He's like, he's walking out. It's like, well, we're just saying no.
No.
I would love a plane, though. Wouldn't that be nice? Every time you fly, I would just fly to fly. Like, oh, it's so comfortable.
Yeah, you know how you get frustrated when you're like, I can't believe I need gas again.
You can never. You're like, well, I can't. The plane can't go up today. We need to raise the money for the gas.
I couldn't even afford to put gas.
But it's so nice to think about it when you're sitting on a plane with everybody else.
I could go with a smaller plane.
Oh, sure.
You know, it doesn't have to be a 787, though. I'll tell you,
you can have like little bedrooms and stuff, like a little apartment.
Can you imagine how awesome that would be?
It'd be great.
You're just like, hey, I want to go to wherever, and I'm going to take a nap, like a nap.
And it's not like a red eye where it's just miserable. You can have a red eye and actually sleep during it.
That'd be great.
We're saying no for now. No to the plane.
Yeah, for now. I mean, it doesn't. You know what? Can we say maybe?
Okay, if you want to.
Can we make it a maybe? Can we just
we'll see?
Like, can we just
let's not get excited.
Let's not say no to it right now.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to Fire Obadiah at RadioU.com.
So the box office was pretty quiet over the weekend, Nikki.
Was there anything new, or was it just the old stuff?
The Possession of Hannah Grace.
You
know.
That sounds Christmassy, doesn't it?
Nothing says...
Possessed by the Christmas spirit.
That's what it was about.
I'll see it now, and I won't be surprised.
Now on Hallmark, The Possession of Hannah Grace.
See, it's different tone.
Hannah doesn't believe in Santa Claus, and then suddenly she becomes possessed by the Christmas spirit, and then she forces everyone to believe.
I think people will be surprised if you go in thinking that that's what that is.
She's vomiting tinsel. It's amazing. Her head spins around.
Wait. Someone from Hallmark is writing this down.
Write it down right now.
They're like, oh my gosh, we could put Christmas movies in the Halloween area of October, and they could be combining them both.
I think it sounds fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5, Bohemian Rhapsody at 5, The Crimes of Grindelwald at 4, Creed 2 at 3, The Grinch at 2, and Ralph Breaks the Internet at 1. So nothing too big.
Nothing else new. Okay.
No, nothing too big there. If you scroll all the way down, there's some art house stuff in the top 50. But other, I'm just telling you.
Oh my gosh, we went and saw the best movie this weekend. It was number 49.
It was
over the weekend.
It was called Pain and Yearning. It was so good.
That's I didn't know there was a top 50 to even go through.
You know what I did see this weekend? I finally watched The Predator.
You did. That was the only movie that I really noticed. I had seen the Predator trailers like in the summertime.
Yeah.
And I must have caught it what I would think would be maybe PG-13 movies. And it just had this tone to it. It's like, oh, okay, it looks kind of boring.
Was it rated PG-13?
No, but the movies I was seeing before.
The movie I saw was not rated PG-13.
No. The movies I was seeing before, like the trailer was in front of, they were PG-13. And then I remember when we saw Sicario 2, they played the Predator trailer, and that must have been the R version before an R-rated movie. And man, that was a totally different trailer. I thought, this movie is something.
It is not. It's not good.
Not very nice. Is there no Christmas possession spirit?
No. Look. First off, it's crazy gory, which I was not prepared for. I guess the other ones were too, but I forgot. There were things that happened in this movie.
That was when you were younger.
I'm in my basement and I'm like, what? I just started screaming. I'm like, that can't happen. What are you doing? Oh! no.
Well, that's what they were going for.
And you're like, oh, that's funny. I like to have fun. It just wasn't very good. That was not a very good movie. And the way it ends, I was like, I mean, dude, I rolled my eyes so hard that I'm sore this morning. I'm just like,
was it just the Predator, or was there some other person with the Predator?
It was like the Predator, and then the little Predator, and then the dog Predator. Seriously,
There was?
I'm not making this
There's
up.
a dog Predator?
They had two of them.
Okay, family Predator?
Yeah, like two dogs.
The family that predators together stays together.
Predator. Or something.
This is best not we don't see any movies anymore.
You know what? It was kind of a bummer because it was directed by Shane Black and it was written by him, and I wanted it to be good.
Hey.
And you know what? The reviews were bad, and I was like, but you know, sometimes they get it wrong. No, they got it right.
Not if there's a predator dog. It's going to be bad.
They got it right. It was not good. So I feel a little less bad about not making it to the theater to see it.
Lesson learned.
Yeah.
You learned a lesson.
Remember, if you can just make it through the rest of the riot, then you can probably make it through the rest of the week. And through the next several months. And then it'll practically be Christmas. The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, you've been running before, right?
Yeah, like outside or...
Yeah, like outside.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's something you've
It's
done
not my
before.
favorite thing, but we've all done it.
Have you ever been running naked?
No.
Okay.
If I don't
all
want to
right.
run outside, I definitely don't want to run outside naked.
Okay,
And I don't
different-
think I've ever seen anybody running naked.
Okay, different question.
Uh-huh.
All right. Have you ever been running where you've taken a couple of Oreos and squeezed them between your buttocks?
No, when you're running.
Clothed or naked?
No.
Okay.
Never. I don't want to know where this is going.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty positive.
Okay. Because it's just come out in Northern Illinois that Byron High School, they had suspended 10 football players for going on what they call the Oreo Run.
Something that happens every year. Oh, now the
Sounds like-
teachers are ending the fun, are they?
Sounds like a 5K.
Do I want to Google the Oreo Run to find this article?
It's all right, Nikki. I'll tell you what the
Oreo
Oreo
Run.
Run is. You take your clothes off, you grab a couple of Oreos, you wedge them between two land masses, and then
You run?
you sprint down the field.
Is it
And the
a
goal is-
hazing thing or?
Well, that's the funny thing is that they got the 10 guys that did this got suspended for 3 games. And they said it was not a hazing. It is apparently a tradition of sorts. And they were just like,
It's an honor, right? Is it a rite of passage?
you know, the thing about this is I look at this, they say what I can't figure out is these guys got in trouble for indecent exposure. And I don't know is like, did they do this late at night? Yeah, I don't know.
I also don't like this article where they call it, the Oreo Run. Is that a common thing that people have done before?
I don't know.
I never did it in school, but I mean, I just maybe that wasn't my friend's thing. I wasn't on the football team. Is that something that anybody else has done?
Urban Dictionary says Oreo
Don't even
race.
look there. Don't look there. No.
I mean, but I'm just saying, like, it's probably a thing, like Oreo races, they call it, like where you, like, this is a known thing, like where you've got
Naked with the
and
Oreos and you
you're
run.
trying to maintain the presence of the Oreo throughout the run. So
What do
you
they have
like
to run for?
whatever. I don't know. Like, were you never a part of a? This is probably.
I was never in a fraternity.
This is
or
probably more. I can't. Maybe it's unfair for me to say this, but it feels like more of a guy thing than a girl thing.
Yes, it does.
I
As
mean,
a girl, I'll say that. Yes.
I'll say that I participated in something like this, but not exactly like this.
Sure.
Ours
Ours would have been like, hey, everybody's fully clothed. You're at a party and like, all right, how many Oreos can you fit in your mouth and eat them? Oh, look at that. The craziness.
Yeah, to be clear,
Chubby bunny.
like
That's the parties.
I mean, the thing about this is like this is still a negative calorie activity.
Sure, you're
I mean,
running.
yeah.
And we shouldn't shame people for running.
Yeah, I mean, when you get done, you want to make sure you wash, all over.
Just, you know what I would like to be?
What?
Just when the parents get the phone call.
It was a letter, which is how the news. This is how the news got out. Is that this happened in October? These guys were suspended for 3 games, and a local news agency got a hold of a copy of the letter, and that's why.
They're like, oh, let's go to the mailbox today. We never get anything in the mail. What's this?
Yeah. I don't know. I look at this and assuming that they did this in at night.
Yeah.
Like if they did this in a way where it was like it wasn't around people. I don't know. Did they do it at a game or not at a game? It wasn't hazing. It was voluntary. Like sometimes you just got to let some things go.
Let the Oreos run.
Sometimes
sound wrong.
There are things at, sports, things happen.
Group activity. I hear what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
No, it wasn't a hazing. It was naked. There were Oreos. It wasn't a hazing.
This was the worst of the riots, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
What about this men's sexy Santa union suit?